Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my Gig-Olos and Gigolettes. It's me, Gio. Y'all know who the fuck it is. Alright, I'm gonna make this video because I managed to find another one of my indie matches online with my old tag partner. And I guess looking back, obviously this was 13, 14 years ago at this point. I want to talk, those of you when you watch the match, I want to explain how that happened, because in the match that you'll watch, that was my first main event. Or no, it wasn't. That was my first main event where I wasn't jobbing. How about that? Because my first main event, I was just, I was just the guy that was just getting fucking thrown around the entire time. But so the sequence of events that led to that, I think were pretty funny, because me and my partner had our gimmick, and we weren't really working as a team. We were on the sidelines most of the time. And then I remember, I think it was in July of that year, we were the co-main event at this fair up, out west. And the whole reason we got the main event spot at one of the next shows is because I remember there was probably 8 or 9 matches at this outdoor show, and we were the co-main event, and there was the head guy, the guy that trained us, comes up to us and he's like, hey, there's still an hour left on the show and all the other matches ran short, and they're like, we need you guys to we need this tag match to go 35 minutes. I remember we were all 4 of us were all standing there looking at each other, and we're like, how the fuck I'm looking at everyone, and we literally all have the same look on face. Like, how do you make a tag match run 35 minutes? Those of you who are wrestling fans, it's hard to make a good match be exciting for 15 minutes. It's hard to get to keep the crowd's attention and all that stuff for any length amount of time. And then, so we're all standing there, and we didn't really talk out any of the match. We knew who was going over. The other guy, the babies, they wanted to get their spots in. We didn't really have any spots that we wanted, we needed to get into the match. So I remember I was always the crowd worker, right? I was always the charismatic one. So I told him, I was like, we're not taking the first bump until 15 minutes into the match. And the babies were looking at me, and they're like, huh? And I was like, we're just gonna we're gonna work the crowd, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna get them all riled up. And keep in mind, it was 110 degrees that day, and the mat was boiling hot. So I told him, I'm like, I'm not in a fucking rush to take a bump on that mat. So we're just gonna I remember it literally took 10 minutes from after the music played to make our entrance. It literally took 10 minutes to even lock up, because we were just circling the mat and having fun and getting everyone riled up. And I remember it was so funny. So we locked up in the middle, and I shrugged them off, right? And I started celebrating like I won the match, and that was going on for 3 or 4 minutes. Anyway, so like I said, that's what kind of led to everything. But I was always good at getting the crowd riled up and getting them involved. And I remember a couple months before that match, the 35-minute match, and I wish I had this shit on video, but you wouldn't even catch it the way the camera was facing. We were doing a battle royal. So those of you who obviously know what a battle royal is, once you go over the top rope and your feet touch the floor, you're eliminated, right? So I remember it was a 30 or 40 man battle royal. No one, I guess I was overlooked, and So somehow, because most of the time they say like, okay, most of the rookies get eliminated immediately. Some of the guys who've been around for a while, they'll stick around for a little bit, and the more well-known guys will hang around to the last 5 or 10. And I remember, I don't know what happened, because I wasn't supposed to be in the top 5 or top 7 guys left at this battle royal, but I'm looking around and I'm like, and all of them had like a spot they wanted worked out towards the end of the battle royal. I remember I'm looking around and I'm like the 7th guy left in the ring, and I'm telling myself like, oh shit, I don't belong here. I'm like, I looked at one of the guys and I'm like, hey dude, you got to get me out of here. And he's like, okay. So he called out a spot to another one of the veteran guys, and so I pretty much, I got launched into the other guy, and he kind of gave like a back body drop thing for me to go over him, go over the top rope, and I pulled probably the most athletic move I've ever done, a pro wrestler. One hand left on the rope, I flung all the way out, like my feet almost touched the hands of the crowd, and I landed back on the apron, and I gave the guy a smirk, and then he gave me a work punch, and I sold it, and I sold it, and I got eliminated. So I'm selling the fact that I got eliminated, and there was this one rookie, I didn't really like that much, but there's this one rookie who was like, they were trying to build up because he was like 6'8", and he wasn't muscular, but he was big, he was like anyway. So he wasn't like a massive 6'8", he was just tall, and yeah, he was just a big guy. So they were trying to push him up, so he was like working people on the outside after they got eliminated. And I literally remember giving him this look. I'm like, because at this point I've been in that promotion for like 4 or 5 years. This dude's been in there all 7 months. He's never worked a match. And I remember I almost gave him like a look, like, don't fucking touch me. Like, we had this. I thought we had a silent agreement at that point. I gave him a look. Because you can't yell over to the guy through the crowd, because obviously it's a show. I'm giving this guy this look like, don't fucking touch me. And then one of the top managers was like, get him. And I'm like, here we go. So he starts working me, and he's newish, so he doesn't know how to throw punches and make it look good without actually landing them. So he kind of stiffs me with this one forearm, and I'm working it, and he stiffs me again, and I hit the ground, and he's giving me work boots. And at this point, I'm aggravated, and I'm selling, but I'm also like very aware of my environment, right? There's probably 300 or 400 people at this show, and there's a bunch of kids, and they're all excited and making noise. And I remember he's giving me the work boots, which that's lingo for like stomping me, right? And I start crawling over towards the crowd barrier, right? And he's still giving me work boots. So he's stopping me, and I'm crawling over to this barrier, and those are those barriers you can kind of reach through. And I remember there was a guy sitting there, right? He's just watching the show. He's not like all into it. And there was 3 young kids there, probably like, the oldest one was probably 10. And they're cheering. They're like, yeah, get him. And I'm reaching through the barrier, and my hand is almost touching the leg of the guy holding the beer in his left hand. And they're like, get him. And then one of the kids realized what I was reaching for, and he's like, Dad, give him your beer. So the guy looks at me, he realizes, he's like, okay. He hands me the beer, and I immediately take it, and I just, because the guy was like standing right over me, and I just fucking doused the guy. So this guy's now covered in freezing cold beer, and so he picks me up by like my hair, and he starts giving me work punches. Then we leave the back, and he's like, why the fuck did you, because the rookie is now telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing. He's like, why the fuck did you do that? I'm like, I fucking gave you a look not to touch me, motherfucker. I was like, I would have taken 1 or 2 of those forearms just fine. You got greedy. Because I told him, I'm like, if you weren't giving me the boots, I wouldn't have to fucking do that. But yeah, I'll show you guys a video of that match I was in, that main event tag match. Yeah, but like I said, I think the promoters and the managers and whatever, the people that put the show together, they all realized, like, I wasn't the best in-ring worker. I really wasn't. I was okay. Like, I knew the basics, and if someone said we just need like a 6-minute match, just, you know, like, I was a good opener because I knew how to, you know, the opener kind of sets the tone for the show. Not the best main event talent, even like for independent wrestling, but I knew how to put on a good show, right? And the people who put the shows together, they knew they can count on me to, like, keep the crowd engaged, have fun. I never hurt anyone in the ring. A lot of guys hurt me. I wasn't a stiff worker, but they, you know, they knew. They knew what they were getting if they put me higher up on the card. And like I said, moments like that is what kind of led to me being higher up on the card for the little bit. And then it's funny because that one guy who I got him with the beer, that guy actually fucked up my neck a few months later. Because like I said, he was big, but he wasn't as strong as he looked. So he lifted me up for a chokeslam and botched it, and that led to like nerve damage in my neck. And I didn't wrestle for like a year and a half because of that. And my neck is still kind of fucked up from that. So, yeah. So, a little bit of insight into a little bit indie wrestling. It's a quick story, not so quick. But like I said, I'll find that match and I'll upload it for you. So, this is for all my wrestling fans out there. All right, so everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay healthy, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.